We'll be right back, guys. Right back with a lunch break. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's time for the lunch break. It's time for the lunch break. So I know I said noon, but I really meant noon Central Time, y'all. So we at the lunch break. Here at the lunch break, we sit around. We talk about the questions that need the answers, yo. We talk about the things that need to be the things. And so I got a couple of things on my docket today. First off, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Yes, lights. This lights have been around for a while, but I've got them. Happy post Thanksgiving. Hope everybody got stuffed. Hope everybody got all the foods that they wanted to eat. And some foods they didn't want to. But how was everybody's Thanksgiving? Listen, I know I said noon, but I said I listen. It's noon somewhere. Somewhere it's noon. Not I mean. Somewhere it's noon. Hi, Kali. Hi, Russian. Hi, Frankie. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for your support. Yes, my Thanksgiving was great. We got to do a bunch of things. It was a busy weekend. Shout out to the Blue Max crew out in St. Louis. They uh, took. We went to their Folsom event at Just John's, and I got some wax done. So that was fun. Hopefully there will be pictures of that up soon on all the things. No, Frankie, you should not be drinking by now. Um, but I wanted to come on here, guys, and tell you that we're gonna have some fun today because I am going through the Reddit "Am I the Asshole" page. I don't know if you guys know about this. Reddit has this page called "Am I the Asshole?" And for those who don't know, basically what it is. Yeah, I gotta keep up. I have to keep up. Kali, thank you. Yes, if you keep typing, I do have to try to keep up with you. Uh, there might be a slight delay, but I do just. Yes, you can ask any questions you want to ask here. And this is a no holds barred question. But I discovered "Am I the Asshole" over the weekend. I'd known kind of about it, but I'd never really paid it much attention. And then I discovered some gold on there, and I want to uh, read some of these and ask you guys what you think. Some of them will be fresh for me, but I will, because I'm going to just pick them at random. But there was a couple of them that I was like, oh, I got to read this one. This is funny. Let's see. Come on. I haven't fired this computer up since Wednesday, so it's acting up. Yes, and the "Am I the Asshole" Reddit is the best thing ever. I lost hours on it. That being said, how. Come on. Am I the asshole? So I have not done the Kick live streams. I'm afraid of them. I haven't really had a good experience on Kick. Like, I have it on there, but I've never used it. I mean, I've used it for like a little bit, but I don't have the. That's because people are weird, and of course there would be 5,600 people watching some girl sleeping. It's creepy and it's weird. Ooh, this is a good one. Am I the asshole for causing my subordinates to get divorced? If y'all ready, I know that's creep squad behavior, and they ought to be ashamed of themselves. So, am I the asshole for causing my subordinates to get divorced? It goes on Navy ships. There are separate quarters where they sleep and head restroom facilities for each gender. If you are of the opposite sex in the wrong place, there are consequences, and they are not pretty. The Navy takes that very seriously, especially when it comes to sexual relations with each other. A reactor mechanical girl guy and a reactor electrical girl were caught having sex in a storeroom by security. They are married, but not to each other. I did not appreciate this kind of behavior. I reduced them both to the next inferior pay grade and took an additional amount of money away from them for 2 months for the offense. I ordered them to call their spouses and tell them why they were not going to be getting the amount of money they would have expected, and that was the why that was the case. So yeah, was I the asshole? Because people are quite pissed that they lost their rank and got divorced. Some people in my personal life told me I took this too far and shouldn't have gotten involved. What do y'all think? Personally, this is one of those situations where, in my opinion, and I'm just reading this as fresh with you guys. Yes, the original poster is the asshole because mind your damn business. You don't know what situations or what things they got. Right, exactly. You don't know what their situation is. You don't know what their agreements are. They might be like, "Listen, when you underway, you do you, but don't make me look like a fool." And so, in those situations, absolutely, you are the asshole. Like you didn't need to get into these people's relationship. You did not need to insert yourself in your own moral code into their situation. All you had to do was what you did, which was do the consequences that the Navy has set for you. You didn't have to make them call their spouses. First of all, if it was on me, I ain't calling nobody. Listen, you know who I'm gonna call? 1-800-94 Jenny. Yeah, girl. So just in case you knew, um, I cheated. I cheated with Weight Watchers. Yep, that's it. I cheated with Weight Watchers. Ain't no way I'm gonna tell you gonna make me tell somebody something I don't want to talk about. Hell, nah, sister. Like exactly, he need to get something. He might. I feel like he out here probably doing the down low as well. Maybe he out here he was mad because that was his storeroom. How dare you go into my storeroom and be licking and sticking when you know that's where I go to lick and stick? That's what it sounds like to me. Um, or jealousy, or maybe he wanted to get one of the two of them and he wasn't able to do that, and that's why he had to tell. What are y'all? Everyone on my social media. This is not Facebook. It is not that this. I think I know what you're talking about, and um, listen, people use different. Some people use different outlets. I don't think you're the asshole for feeling that way, but if you tell them that, say it, you might be the asshole. There are some things that you can't, because you know me. I'll put all kinds of stuff on all the socials. You know what I mean? People have different some things that they don't feel like they can share on their regular socials, and um, I don't really care about what people are eating on their things anyway. Like on any of their socials or how their work was going. I don't care about any of that, regardless of what social platform it's on. Um, I just don't. So like I have a rule that I've been trying to follow for the last year, and that is if it ain't got nothing to do with me, I'm gonna keep scrolling. So like I try not to insert my opinion onto what other people are doing or talking about or anything like that. I'm not always the best at it, y'all. Sometimes something just sticks in my craw. Um, it do. Sometimes it just stick in my craw and I got to say something. But for the most part, I have tried to be and if we're talking about what I think we're talking the site that I think we're talking about, every time I see something dumb on there, I just like a dick pic. So then that way it floods my feed with, dick pics. That's just what I do. Uh, who we are like that decided like that ABC special on OnlyFans was eliminating what people will pay for out there. What's interesting about that is like when I think of OnlyFans, I think of it as generally a place where people go to look at uh, wieners and vagine and dirty pillows, but really like people be out there like cooking and like doing workouts and talking about their day, and here I am doing that shit for free. So don't forget to donate, guys. We have 2 days left on the donations, and yeah, yeah. Like I didn't realize that it was for more than that, because everybody that I know that does the OF do the OF for you know the stuff that you can't put on Facebook. Maybe I need to get an OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Would y'all subscribe to my OnlyFans? No. Right, but see, here's the thing about that Bella Thorne thing. She got a lot of backlash because she was. People thought that the reason she made that OnlyFans was so that she could get her, so that they could see her, her naughty bits. And she said, "I didn't tell y'all I was going to do that. You just assumed," which I get. But if you make a big deal about being like, "I'm going to have an OnlyFans," and I'm starting OnlyFans, people are going to assume that OnlyFans, like, the assumption is that if you have an OnlyFans, it's for naughty things. It's for things that are not safe for work. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, this is a little long. but I want y'all to. This is an interesting one because I really want to know y'all everyone's thoughts on this. Am I the asshole for pretending not to know a guy who hurt me? Here's some context. I, 21 female, used to have a massive on and off crush for N, 25 male since I was 13, up until I was 19. We used to go to the same school, but N went abroad for university after graduating. He knew I was super into him, but told me I was too young for all this. We didn't really have much contact until I turned 18. They started texting me out of the blue. I'd already sort of gotten over him by then, but when he was enthusiastic about talking to me, the feelings came back really quick. I also moved out of our hometown for university, but still stayed in the country, and we became quite close over my first semester at uni. During my first Christmas break, we both came back to our hometown. He asked me out for coffee. The date was pretty okay. We talked for hours. He offered to pick me up and drop me back at his car, but I politely refused because I wasn't that comfortable yet. After the date, however, he completely ghosted me, stopped responding to my text entirely. Over the next few months, I think I sent over 100 texts of varying lengths with no response, and then I finally realized through other people that he has a girlfriend in the country where his uni is, and he was with her when he was talking to me and asked me out. I was completely broken for a long time, self esteem was a wreck, was diagnosed with clinical depression. After lots of therapy and help, I finally became okay and moved on with my life. I'm extremely happy and healthy now and have the sweetest, most kind boyfriend ever. I've been living at home for a year now because of COVID. The incident. The other day, boyfriend and I were at the local shopping mall, and I saw N with the girl who's definitely not from my country. I'm guessing his new girlfriend. I pointed that out to BF, and he tried to avoid him because I didn't really want to interact. And saw me, and I started to walk away, but he caught up and tried to talk to me. This is where I might be the asshole. Instead of saying I don't wish to talk to you, I just said, do I know you? He was taken aback and tried to explain who he is, but I kept a blank face and maintained that I did not know him. By now, N was getting really frustrated and angry, raising his voice and saying, how can you not remember me? And his girlfriend was looking so uncomfortable. My boyfriend saw this, intervened, told him to go away or we'd call security. In full honesty, I saw the incident as kind of funny and didn't think much about it until today when I mentioned it to a friend and she said I took it too far by acting like I didn't know him and he must have felt completely embarrassed in front of his girlfriend. Now I'm starting to think I should have said I don't want to talk instead of this. Edit. Many people have mentioned me bombarding him with text back when then was really obsessive and I completely agree. I was young and had an undiagnosed mental illness at the time. I completely regret my behavior, but like I said, I've received psychological help for my issues. I don't think she's the asshole. I don't think she's the asshole at all. I think that uh, this is a situation where sometimes you have to protect your peace, and protecting your peace means I don't know you. And even though I might know you, I don't know you. Uh, a quick Jason story. When I was like 16, 17, I met this dude and we talked all the time and hit it off and everything was great. And then we went out from to the movies and had what I thought was a good time, and then he completely ghosted me. Fast forward to 3 years later, in a completely different state, um, I run into him, and we start talking again, and he's like, "Oh my God, this is fate," and blah blah blah, and who would think that we would find each other again, and blah blah, all of this, that, and the third, blah 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 blah. We talk again for a little bit, and then he ghosts me again. Um, so I think in these situations, like this is, I guess, my me looking back on this. I'm like, no, you did what you were supposed to do, which is pretend you didn't know who this person was. Because I remember being very, very hurt at that situation. And like, here's the thing: I remember being, 16, 17, 18, and being told, hey, being fed the lines and all of that. What it sounds like to me in the beginning is that he thought he was going to get some nookie that first time that they hung out. And when she said no, he was like, nope, don't want to do it. Not interested, because all I'm looking for is to get my dick wet. And so now, all of a sudden, you want to show back up? Like, I think he's the asshole for after ghosting someone, turning around and being like, yeah, I want to be friends. Let's be friends. Let's hang out and talk. Hell no, bitch. Like, you ghosted me. We went on one date and then you pretend like I did not exist. Just because you ran into me at the mall does not mean that we get to talk, like, or that we get to be friends. You need to pretend ghost me like you ghosted me then. I'm Casper, the unfriendly ghost, bitch. Like, don't come up to me and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Yeah, I'm doing mighty fine. Like, we're not doing any of that. And you got your girlfriend with you. I would have been like, I'd have been like, "Are you the girlfriend who he was with when he was trying to holler at me and trying to get in my pants?" I'd have put him on blast. Did you want to talk about who the asshole is? I'd have been the asshole. I think she was nice. That's just my own personal thoughts, and it seems to me, yeah, no, nobody thinks she's the asshole from what I see. I'd love to hear someone give me a justification on why she's the asshole for being like, I don't know you. You have to give people the Mariah Carey treatment. You have to be like, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know her. Like, it's just that simple. I don't know her. Right, like that's how I would have been. I'd have been like, "Oh, you the bitch that ghosted me." So that's what we're gonna do. That's now you want to come up to me like we're buddies? Boo boo, we don't do that. Listen, y'all. So side note, it's between nail situations, and so I had to make do. Look at these. I got some stickers. They're kind of cute though. I got one. This is the only one that I kept original, but all the other ones are different. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can. I had to like they're like stickers. They're not bad. I don't hate them. Let's see. Oh, this one sounds interesting. I want to find one that's for real the asshole. This one has got to be terrible. Okay. So, I know the title is wait. Am I the asshole for telling my future mother in law no one gives a shit about her hurt feelings and her husband is not coming to our wedding? Wait a minute. I know the title is pretty bad, so just hold on to your judgment for a moment. My fiance Kevin's parents split when he was 12. His dad has been cheating with a friend of his mother's. I'm going to call his mom Lucy. Obviously, that's a horrible thing to go through, and in general, I hate cheaters. The dad got every other weekend, and Lucy got primary custody. Like with all divorced parents, he was a Disney dad. His house was all fun and games, and Kevin began preferring his dads and stepmoms and complaining that Lucy was boring. To be fair, I don't think Lucy was a bad parent. She was doing the normal parenting stuff kids don't like, but she is a bit in love with her job and put that before Kevin. Lucy also tried to guilt him for liking his stepmom. When he was 13, Lucy began dating Mark. Right off the bat, Mark was calling Kevin spoiled and ungrateful and telling him how badly he hurt Lucy when he rejected her. This went on for a year, and finally, Mark overheard Kevin talking back to Lucy, packed him up, drove him to his dad's house. To me, this is totally fucked up. Yes, he was hurtful to his mom, but he is also a child. She was an adult and should have found a way to handle it. Lucy has shown no remorse for allowing Mark to do this. They got married shortly after, and Kevin refused to go to the wedding. They've been married for 15 years now, and it is clear she loves him 1,000 times more than her son. Kevin and I are getting married, and he decided he didn't want Mark there. I warned him that it was considered bad etiquette and he might get some shit from family, but I will back him 100%. Lucy called us very upset and said we couldn't invite her without her husband of 15 years, and we were disrespectful and immature. Kevin handled it that time. She got even madder when she found out his stepmom will be there. Lucy has had family members guilt trip us over not inviting Mark. She called last night and asked to discuss it. She teared up and said how badly her ex and Kevin hurt her, and she feels bad that Mark is the only person who truly loves her. Kevin was starting to feel bad, so I told her what it says in the title and that she is a shit mom who chose a man and her feelings over her kid. Lucy simply said she would not be coming and hung up. Lucy's parents and her sister, have been calling us since that conversation and saying how awful for I am for how I talked to her and that we are all adults and we should see her side of it. Okay, so this is interesting because like everyone in this situation is the asshole. Like everybody. Mom, the kids, the stepmom, the stepdad, like friends, family, strangers, everybody is the asshole in this situation. Because based on what I'm reading, and there isn't any like additional context, um, yeah, yeah, I don't, there's not any more extra context. What it sounds like to me is that like Kevin is, it feels like Kevin is spoiled and entitled, quite frankly. Yes, I agree with you, Collie, that there is two sides to every story, and then the truth lies somewhere in the middle. And it is their wedding, and they can invite who they want to invite. I get that. But at the same time, proper etiquette states that when you invite, one half of a couple to a wedding, you are supposed to invite the other. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to interact, they have to spend any time together, all of that stuff. All it means is that like you have a plus one, and your plus one in this case would have been her husband. I don't know how in the 15 years since they got together this situation has not been resolved. Um and that is the thing to me that is weird. I don't know whether or not mom has had any conversations, because if so he was 14 when he was picked up when he moved into his dad's house. And so from 14 to however old they are now, which doesn't say, you haven't figured this, y'all haven't had come together, had a conversation, figured out, you know, where you all stand. You ain't had like no contact with your mother. You ain't been to your mother's house. You ain't seen your stepfather in any of that time for y'all to have had a conversation and figured this stuff out before the wedding. Like, come on. Yeah, same. No clue why it hasn't been resolved, but it's obviously the cross he chose to die on with regards to his mother and their relationship. I get that, but there is something. There's something more to this. There's got to be something more to this because if you think about it like this, so 14, 13, and a year, this has got to be like 10 years later. You know what I mean? And at 10 years later, at some point, somebody should have said something. Hey, I still feel a way about X, Y, and Z. I still like the fact that you don't have a. So they need to talk to therapists. They need to have family therapy and really get into the middle of this. Because obviously, you know what I'm saying, the stepdaddy ain't going nowhere. And the stepmama feels like the stepdaddy didn't do nothing wrong. And yeah, this is weird. I don't, this is weird. Wait, so and Lucy's parents and her sister have been calling us and saying awful. Now, here's the deal. I don't know about like the no one gives a shit about her hurt feelings. Her feelings are hurt because did it because you are not accepting. I don't know. This one is weird. Like that's a lot to process in that. I don't trust nobody. That might be fake. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna let you guys choose the next one. Am I the asshole for getting my sister ostracized from her friend group, or am I the asshole for telling my well-meaning mom to kiss her to piss off and mind her own business, or am I the asshole? I gave money for Christmas presents to my youngest daughter, but didn't give money to the rest of my children. This one might be good too. The mom one, okay. All right. I have two children, a 3-year old and a 10-month old. My toddler is and has always been big for her age, but not fat. But 98th percentile for height and weight. Loads of hair, she looks about 5 rather than 3. My 10-month old, on the other hand, is tiny and get compared a lot. At 3 months, we realized that my youngest had non IgE allergies to milk, soy, and eggs, that she was reacting through the milk, which has slowed her weight gain, so she dropped 2 percentiles. We were under pediatric dietitian and following her advice to cut out all allergens, waited 6 months to wean, and will continue breastfeeding as long as possible. Yes, it's inconvenient, but mostly to me and her, as we're the ones with the now restricted diet. Because I'm on veggies, which annoys them a lot. I always offer to bring my own food if we're eating at someone's house, but everyone always says no, they'll sort me something. But every single time I'm with family, I get a lecture about how I should just switch her the formula, and am I sure she can't have a little bit of milk? I don't feel mean not giving her the same food as don't I feel mean not giving her the same food as her sister? She's really starting to get too old for breast milk now. It's really draining, especially as I've repeated myself hundreds of times about the reasons that I'm still breastfeeding and will be until recommended, and why I don't give her the things she's allergic to. I've explained in details why I don't want formula. I fed my oldest until 21 months and no one said a thing. So I have no idea why this is an issue this time around. If anything, the allergies are a huge factor in why I want to continue. Not that it should even matter what my reasoning is. I'd also like to make it clear I haven't complained about the restricted diet, nor having breastfed aside from I was disappointed I wouldn't be able to have cheese anytime soon after my daughter failed the worst four step of the milk ladder. I don't know what that means. Oh, daughter failed the first step of the milk ladder. This it's their grammar, not mine. Uh, Anyway, our latest family dinner, my mom and grandma were going on about how small she is. She hasn't dropped percentile since taking the allergens out of her diet, and again trying to tell me she needed formula, some dairy, and so forth. I ended up snapping at my mom when she had her chance to parent with me and my brother, that I don't judge her decisions she made when raising us, so she shouldn't judge mine, and that she should really piss off and mind her own business. The family are now in an uproar with me. She cried and seems to think that by saying that, I was in fact judging her parenting decisions. I couldn't care less how me and my siblings were fed. It was 30 years ago, for God's sake. And suggesting that I shouldn't come to family dinners anymore if I can't take well meaning advice. So, am I the asshole for snapping at my mom? Um, Hi, Elf Baby. What's up, Elf Baby? So, here's the deal. And this will probably be the last one, and then we're going to get going for the day. I'll be back on later. I got some shit to do. Um, Here's the deal. You have a medical reason why you are not giving your child these particular foods and diets in your diet. Your mom was raised in a different household, different thing. It's a different. That's a different generation than what we have. Now we actually know better, and we do better. So she is doing her duty as a mom, exactly, Collie or Frankie. She's doing her mom as a parent to protect her from these allergens. Absolutely. Um, the pediatrician, she's got a pediatric dietitian. That pediatric dietitian told her she can't have that stuff. So you got to cut out allergens and then wean and continue breastfeeding as long as possible. That's what the doctor told you to do. That's what I'm doing. Now, as opposed to the mom, you know what I'm saying, you telling your mom to piss off and all of that stuff, it's, I don't know how your family dynamic is. If I told my mom to piss off, I would be, you know, she would be raising her grandbaby because I would be dead. But there has to be a better way to have that conversation and be like, look, there are some things that maybe you don't understand, or hey, you've got to, my doctor said this. This is what my doctor said. This is what my doctor said that we should do, that we need to do. So that's what I'm going to do up until, they say different. Once they say different, then we can introduce these foods. But until then, I ain't doing all that. So, yeah, that is what I would say. Are you the asshole? No, but you should probably apologize to your mom and be like, hey, I'm my bad for going there. Um I shouldn't have said that. But mind your business too, because we're working on doing our best. That's what I would do. So those are the that's really all I had today. I had this really fun. I think I might do this like 3 times a week. Do some Am I the Assholes, because these are fun. Um right. Like, exactly. It's got to be hard having to help your child with those dietary issues. She's probably struggling right now. Grandma could give some support. Absolutely. Um, Frankie says, let's pretend it was a peanut allergy. Would the family still be trying to force them onto the poor baby? Absolutely. I think there's a lot of um, maybe there might be some regional thing, because obviously this person is British. Because I didn't know what the first step of the milk ladder was. But obviously it's something that's important that people do. That they This is like, to me, this story is very cut and dry. You are absolutely right to do the things for your baby that the dietitian says you need to do. But I also think that maybe you hit your limit with your mom and everybody telling you what you should do, and that might be why you reacted the way you did. Just apologize, talk about it, tell them, look, this is my baby. This is what my doctor says I need to do. I'm gonna do that. All that stuff y'all talk about doesn't make me know. Never mind. So politely mind your business. Um, Mind the business that pays you. Although I will say this, when she said uh, she had her chance to parent with me and my brother, and that I don't judge the decision she made when raising us, so she shouldn't judge mine. That tells me you absolutely judge the way that your parents raised you. Um, that's absolutely. She's absolutely bulldozing her her daughter. But my point is, like, when you say things like that, oh, I didn't judge you how you raised me. You absolutely do. That's absolutely what that is. That is a silent judgment. That is a, like, I didn't judge you, but you know you made some mistakes. I didn't judge you, but you know you didn't do it right. Which is a backhanded judgment. So I can definitely see where mom would think that she was judging her parenting, because whenever someone says I didn't judge you for XYZ, that is inherently judgment. And it's so that's one of those things that, like, there's a on all of these am I the asshole stories, there's always something more going behind the scenes that they're not saying. And so I would really be this is one that I would really be interested in seeing, like, what are you what are you not judging her for? You know what I mean? Like, what are you not judging her for? Because yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what we're doing is we're essentially going in and we're playing Judge Judy to these posts, and this is fun. I think "Am I the Asshole" is going to be a new show, the lunch break asshole edition, so that we can get you guys out. When you're on your lunch breaks or that time at work where you need to get people, you tired of people, you could just come here and listen to us and randomly talk about this shit. I love it. Let's do it. I'm here for it. But okay, yeah, like, I mean, I definitely think mom is well mentioned, is well meaning. I think that I do. Yeah, this one was a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. I think I do want to do one more. How much time we got left? We got 10 minutes left. I might do one more. Um. Oh, okay. I can already tell this one is funny. Sorry, guys. Oh, thanks, Kylie. I mean, you're probably never gonna see me sleeping because I look crazy. So this one is: Am I the asshole for telling my friend to be more realistic about dating? So already the answer is yes. Let me just say that. My 29-year-old best friend, 29 female, has recently put herself back in the dating pool after a nasty breakup that went on for like 6 months earlier this year. She is finally at a place to start dating again, so she's been using the dating app Hinge. I love my friend. She's my best friend. We talk almost every day despite living 800 miles apart. Recently, she's been sending me profiles of guys she's matching with on Hinge. I noticed she's liking ridiculously attractive men. Like the most recent literally put on his profile that he's a former Nordstrom's model. My girlfriend is gorgeous, but she's about 100 pounds overweight, as am I. She has an amazing outgoing personality, which always draws people to her in person. When we go to bars together, she always gets the attention of at least one man. The problem is, she showed me her dating profile, and the only picture that remotely shows her as overweight is the last one, and it's somewhat misleading as well. I tried weeks ago to politely tell her she's misrepresenting herself, but she didn't get the hint. Tonight, she was complaining that no guys called her pretty from her matches. When I tried to comfort her, she kept going on and about it. So I nicely suggested that maybe we work on losing weight together so she can feel as beautiful as we both know she is. She got offended and asked if her being overweight meant a model wouldn't want to date her, even though he swiped right on her. I bluntly told her yes. I reminded her that even as an overweight woman, she still turns her nose up at overweight men. So how could she expect someone who takes great care of themselves to want to date someone who doesn't? I was trying to be helpful, but admittedly it was a little blunt since I'd watched her do this for years with heartbreaking results. She could get the hot guys when she was a little overweight, but she put on a lot of weight during the last 2 years and refuses to accept any constructive criticism or believes she can't get any man she wants. I tried to be as kind about the topic as possible, but I didn't want to be subtle about it anymore since it has done no good in the past. I told her she needs to be more realistic and stop going for supermodels and guys with kids since she doesn't want to be a stepmom but still swipes right if the guy is hot enough. She also had a blind date recently and the guy never texted her, despite swapping numbers at the end of the date. She showed me his picture and he was incredibly fit. She couldn't understand why he hadn't texted her a week after the date. She refused to listen to any possible explanations and insisted on texting him for answers, in which she never responded. Am I the asshole for suggesting she be more realistic? I've already apologized for hurting her feelings, but she hasn't responded. Edit, people keep accusing me of being fat phobic and saying I don't believe she can get an attractive man. As an overweight woman, that isn't the case. I think she's gorgeous, and I've seen plenty of men think the same thing, even at her current weight. Her personality is so magnetic that she can be a literal giraffe, and she still have human men lined up around the box to hear her jokes and have a conversation with her. My problem is her misrepresenting herself in her dating profile as someone who isn't overweight and then being upset when men feel she misrepresented herself. I suggested we lose weight together as we've done in the past before because we both hate being overweight and she clearly doesn't want to represent herself accurately because she's expressed being upset that she's gained weight. So I figured us losing weight together might help her feel more confident, so she'd either use the photos that better represent herself or work until she reaches the point where she resembles those photos again. Those were my intentions, at least. I sent her a large message trying to explain that, but she's asleep. Hopefully she responds tomorrow and I can try to rebuild this friendship I'm worried I've damaged. Listen. I've never seen a Hinge commercial, so I don't know. Here's my thought on this. And some of y'all might be upset with me for saying this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say what I want to. Men will literally fuck anything. Point blank, period, end of story. They will literally stick their dick in anything. So, if she's got this great personality and awesome and all of those things, and they are upset with her, right, right. That's my thing. Like, there are there are men who love, and I mean love, big women. Like, they love them. So find you, because I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. Like, they will fuck a kumquat. You hear me? But there are men out there who are incredibly attractive and incredibly, fit and all of that, and they want nothing more than a big woman that they can just, you know, do all the things with. We're not gonna get too graphic, but I think that in this case, it has less to do with her weight and more to do with her using photos that don't represent who she actually is. Because regardless of how um, magnetic her personality is and friendly and all of that, to not show and confident and all of those things, to not show who you are right now in the moment, and then when people see you, they're going to take that as either A, it was a catfishing situation, or B, you are not comfortable with where you are right now. And confidence is what's attractive. And so you can get, I have seen some rail thin dudes with some big old, big old, big old women. And I've seen some big old dudes with some skinny women. It's all about the level of confidence that you have and, how you guys fit together. And I think really in a lot of these situations, what the friend should be doing rather than saying, let's lose weight together, is being like, girl, why you don't got no picture that look like you up there? Like, keep that real. Don't say we need to lose weight together. We need this, we need that. Girl, what's going on? Like, what's happening here? What's happening in your brain? Like what's happening that you don't feel like you can put a picture that accurately represents who you are right now up? You know what I mean? Like, you are fucking gorgeous. You're beautiful. Let people see who you are now, not see who you were, then. And if they can't rock with that, fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, fuck them. You're fucking beautiful and wonderful, and you got good pussy. I mean, I don't know what your pussy looks like, but real talk, like, because men will fuck anything, especially straight men. Now, gay men, that's a little different. Gay men is a little different. We a little we're a little more discerning in where we stick our. No, not all of us, but straight men will literally stick it in anything with the vagina. I'm just I'm just saying. I've seen for myself, and I've been like, that's it. That's what turns your crank. That's what makes you, you know, get heavy in the pants. And it's like, nah, but it was available, so I. So, but I think that this has nothing really to do with that. Um, what I mean is, before people get upset and start calling me fat phobic and all that, it's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm saying is that literally, like, if you just be yourself and you just come to, you can continue to like hot ass men. You know what I mean? Listen, yes, a hole is a hole. They be saying that stuff. Any port in the storm. That's the shit. That's the straight men made that shit up. See, Kylie, you know. At any rate, if you just be yourself and show, and this is for anybody. Like, I'm still learning how to do this myself because I don't think I'm the most attractive person in the world. You know what I'm saying? I still got a couple pounds that I could lose off my waist there. Um, but as long as people you show up confident and healthy and like that you are showing people who you are genuinely, people will respond to that, and you might find a man that looked like he modeled from. So they say the same that one too. You can find somebody that they model for Nordstrom, or you can find somebody who look like they just stepped off a photo shoot, and out here looking like Mama June. If that's what if you're giving Mama June confidence, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily know if Mama June is the way I want to put it, but you know what I mean. Like, as long as I don't think that the right. I don't think that there's an asshole in this one. I think that this one was a a real chance of trying to figure out the best way to tell your friend that they're doing too much and they need to calm down. Yeah, X Factory. That's I don't understand what that's about, but okay. I just think that if you pick this apart a little bit, it's a friend trying very hard to be nice and help out another friend, but then their conversation wasn't. I don't think it was reacted to well because they weren't in a place to have that conversation. Right. I don't think telling her that she misrepresents herself is the right way to go. I don't think that at all. I think that that's how you get people to be upset with you. And um and you know, here's the thing, like when it says I've already apologized for hurting her feelings, I think that probably makes it even worse. Hey, I may have I crossed the line when I said XYZ and that hurt your feelings and I apologize. You know what I mean? Like you have to figure out when people apologize, you have to really have the conversation about why you're apologizing and what you did. I posted this thing on my Instagram earlier about accountability, and when you take accountability for your actions, you have to spell out this is what I did and I apologize for that. So I think that there's a lot of like learning. I think that their friendship is definitely something that can be salvaged, but I think there's a lot of learning and growth that can happen in this situation. So no, I don't think anyone is the asshole in this. I think that it sounded bad at first. Am I the asshole for telling my friend to be more realistic about dating? You sound like hell yeah, you asshole. But once you read it and get the context, no, I think she is a well-meaning friend who did the best that she could. Um, yeah, it's the losing weight. I think might have made people go rather than just the misrepresentation of who you are. But on that note, guys, this was lots of fun. I'm definitely going to be doing this more often. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it daily, but I will do it more often because it was fun. Uh, and there's a million of these on here, and we'll talk about other stuff too. We'll do um, whatever you want to. Maybe next one I'll do rather than doing Am I the Asshole? I'll let you guys pick the topic, and we'll just talk about that. And yeah, but that was the lunch break for this afternoon. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be on later on tonight playing some video games and doing some work on a secret project. I am doing well, Yikes Factory. I didn't know what you meant by the turning off the stove or any unused lighting. Um, I didn't know what that meant, so I was a little confused. I'm sorry. I wasn't sure what you meant by that. um, yes. Everybody have a wonderful day. You guys, for those of you who are at your jobs, have a wonderful day at work. Hopefully, nobody punches you. Nobody makes you want to punch them in the face today. I'm thinking about you guys. Don't forget, if you have not yet, tomorrow is the last day to donate for the podcast for our fundraiser. So we are really hoping to get past that. We still have $600 more to go. Tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, so don't forget to give. The link is in all of the places where you can see the link to donate to the podcast. We're trying to get some lapel mics. I got a video that's coming out tomorrow that will show why we need those lapel mics really, really badly. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you enjoy the rest of your evening or afternoon. Peace.